try to get you funneled, get everything. And I think I've helped a couple of you already on the Zoom in previous years, just looking at your grants, giving you some helpful hints to make it just a little bit stronger. So let's dig in. The main goal of our foundation is soliciting funds from you, our members, from corporate entities, wherever we can find the funding to help Optimist help kids. That's our goal in a nutshell. And of course, as I said, one of the ways that we do that is providing our two categories of grants that we offer each and every year. And in those grant categories, we have the club grant that is on one cycle a year, and we have the childhood health and wellness grants. That is a 2-cycle grant. You have 2 opportunities. So each year, the foundation appoints members into the grant judging committee, and it's 2 per year. Each member on the committee serves for 2 years straight, then they roll off, and we appoint 2 new individuals. And we have a system for the individuals on the board who actually chair the grants. The first year you're on the board, you are in charge of the club grants 1 time a year, 4 individuals who work with you. Your second year on the board, you're in charge of childhood health and wellness. That is the 2-cycle grant program that we have. Individual members serve with you, and what we try to do each and every year, we look at the composition of both of our committees and try to ensure that we have representation across the board from every single region that we have in Optimist International. We like to have a variety of voices on our committee, a variety of sets of eyes. And I will say, for example, people in the West Coast look for different criteria with committee judging than people, for example, in the Southeast. So we like to have a variety of voices, a variety of individuals from every area of our organization looking at your grants and judging them. Personally, I am most familiar with the Childhood Health and Wellness Grant Program. I'm a veteran of 5 years of judging those grants. I only have 1 year with club grants. Both of the categories are a little bit different, and we'll talk about those in just a second. When we talk about our grant program from Optimist Foundation, there are 4 main objectives for offering the grants and getting your participation. We want to increase our fundraising in the communities, giving you an opportunity, a little extra seed money to kick you off into new categories of service. But also in the process, you've got to be able to raise funds to match the grants. So you're going to be, while we're giving you opportunities from the foundation with monies, you're also going to be looking at your fundraising capabilities and reaching out into your communities. Another objective is to get the Optimist and your communities involved in projects, keeping Optimist active. One of my things is I've always felt that in every single club, every individual should have a project that's their favorite, the project that is near and dear to their hearts. That's how you keep Optimists engaged. That's how you keep them active. That's how you keep them happy. And it's how you keep their hearts warmed. When we are not offering that in our clubs, we got to branch out. We got to find those projects that suit everyone's needs, making sure that our Optimists are engaged. Our seed money from the foundation for grants gives you that opportunity to add a new service project into your club. It gives you the opportunity to say to your club members, what's your dream project? Are we doing it? What would you like to see us do? What are we missing in our community, and how can we answer those needs? Our grant program can help you. It can help you provide the needed funds to start those projects and bring them into fruition. Enabling clubs to do a new project or continue an existing project. Just as I was saying, our grants hit both of those categories. New projects, specifically, is the club grant. Existing projects, we hit with childhood health and wellness. So, more about that in just a minute. And as you work through the grant process and as you do these new projects, it gives you and your club members, your community, a new awareness of Optimist International, our foundation, and all of the mission that both missions that we have, as well as your mission in your club. Now, let's drill down on what each grant category is. They're club matching grants. The club grant is for new projects, and the childhood health and wellness grant is for new or ongoing projects. So take a look at what you're doing. You have, in the course of the year, 3 opportunities within your club to apply for grants. Now, our president, Fatima Plater, has always cautioned, every time she's done this training, she's always said, plan accordingly. Don't compete against yourself. For example, you got a new project, a service project at your community center for safety or something like that. New project, funnel it to club grants. The next thing you can do is look at your health and wellness. Do you have an existing project that you would like to enhance? For example, a great one is the project, the health and wellness project that the Temple Club has done. They initially got the seed money through Childhood Health and Wellness to get it started, and every year they apply for a Childhood Health and Wellness grant to enhance what they're doing, to make it bigger, to make it better, to make it more effective, to make it reach more members, more children in their community, but also keep their club members involved. So think of your strategy. How can you maximize your grants to get as much money from the foundation as possible? Because we like to give out the money. That's what our fundraise, that's what our donors expect us to do. We're not sitting on the money. We want to see the money that's raised from our donors used in communities making a difference. Now, once you have kind of a bit of a strategy planned, the next thing you want to do, you kind of scope it out. Are you going to do a club grant, or are you going to do a childhood health and wellness grant, or are you going to do both in the course of the year? The next thing you got to do is figure out how to apply. There's several ways you can access the forms that you need. Everything is available to you online at the oifoundation.org. To get to the applications for both grant categories, look for the banner, the menu, the upper menu, and you need to go to Community Impact. And in the drop down, you'll see the menu items for the grants. The complete directions for the applications is available also on the website. We have step-by-step. Right now, the club grant, the step-by-step for club grant has been pulled down because we've got to change a few things around, change some verbiage. So when you look online, you're not going to see that right now, but it will be up soon. So download that online fillable application. You got to send it in. Once everything is complete, send it to the Lindell Boulevard office, and do not send it. We have 2 addresses that we use for the foundation. We have the Lindell Boulevard office, which is our home office for Optimist International and the foundation, and then we have a P.O. box. The P.O. box is for money only. DFRs, when they send in their contributions, they mail their stuff to the P.O. box. CFRs, when they send money for Dime a Days, that goes to the P.O. box. So applications to the Lindale Boulevard office only. Now, if all else fails, if you have difficulty with the foundation website, you can't find exactly where you need to go. If all else fails, give the office a call. And either Shanita or Craig will get you what you need and will put an application in the mail to you. If you need that mailed application, just be sure you've left yourself enough time for the snail mail, and we know what that is now, for the snail mail to reach you, and give yourself enough time to get in there and do a complete application and get it mailed back. So, club grants. Let's drill down on club grants. We've already established they're matching grants. The project has to be new for your club, a brand new project. Your project needs to begin and finish between April 2026 and March 2027. Grants are given for 1 year only. Now, some important things. When you do your application and you get it sent in, Craig and Shanita take those applications, and there are some things that they look up for us before they turn everything over to committee. They are looking for two specific things. They are looking to see if your club dues are current, and they are also looking to see if on record you have a club foundation representative. When they look for those things, if there's something missing, they don't just throw out your application. We give some grace. You will either hear from Shanita or you will hear from Craig, and they will let you know what is missing. Are you not current on your dues? And let's face it, if you're not the club treasurer or the club secretary treasurer, you might not know. And we know sometimes club presidents don't know. If you're working with a club president to do a grant, just double check with your secretary treasurer to be sure your club dues are current and you do have on record a club CFR. One other service that we offer to our clubs to help you with your fundraising efforts, particularly if you are in a small club and you're soliciting $100 donations to help you meet your matching grants. We offer you the club pass-through program so that your donors can funnel their money through the foundation and get that tax-deductible benefit from making that donation to your effort. Now, childhood health and wellness basically follows those rules, but you've got one other thing that's important. Your childhood health and wellness grant, it has to hit at least one focus area in the realm of health and wellness. Now, the 4 areas are healthy lifestyles, chronic diseases, disabilities, and mental health. Now, these are the broad categories. There's a lot of leeway in there. And what I've found in 5 years of judging is a good portion of the childhood health and wellness grants that we get in, they will hit more than one category in the 4 health and wellness focus areas. So don't be afraid that, don't think that it's just got to fit into one category. For example, I'm going to use our Temple Club as an example. The things that they were doing hit healthy lifestyle as well as mental health. So if you've got a project that hits those areas, be sure to put it in there, because the further the reach, the better the grant. Now, basics for childhood health and wellness. As we've said, new or ongoing. Just like Club Grant, you've got to finish within 1 year from the application cycle. And grants are matching grants. Once again, your club dues have to be current and you have to have your current CFR. And for childhood health and wellness, also consider using that pass-through program to help you funnel from your donors, funnel that money and give them that tax deductible capacity. Now, important dates. You've got club grant dates, childhood health and wellness. The next thing coming up is the club grant. So remember, club grant needs to start between April 2026, March 2027. Once again, applications are available at the foundation website. And here's the magic date. March the 20th, 2026, you've got to have your application into the St. Louis office. That's either faxed, emailed, or snail mail. Now, the goal is always, we always do the deadline toward the end of March with the goal of being able to have everything judged and winners notified by about the middle of May. And always the goal is to get you notified of the status. Did you win, or were we not able to fund you? We let you know in that time frame. And we always have the goal of getting the checks cut and sent out to you in the club within 2 weeks of notifying you whether or not your club qualifies. So childhood health and wellness is very similar. Your project has got to start and finish within the year. Applications, once again, oifoundation.org. And I have to tell you, the website, our side of the website, just like the other side, can be a bit cumbersome and it can be a bit frustrating. So if you have difficulties with our website, please contact me or any member of the board, or call Shanita or call Craig, and we will walk you through. Every year, I got to be honest, every year we try, and this is my 3rd year, and it is a constant conversation. What are we going to do about the website? What are we going to do about the website? But we are having to work within the boundaries that we can afford as a foundation, and we are at the mercy of the other side. Sometimes their priorities on the other side, getting their side of the website, getting their side taken care of, sometimes trumps getting our side. But we keep a constant watch, and we try to keep the errors at bay and try to keep things updated. So that's just kind of my cautionary tale about our website. So be patient. Now, on to the cycle due dates for childhood health and wellness. The first one has just passed. I will tell you, for now and as you think into the future, I can tell you from 5 years of experience with this, the first cycle is always has the lowest levels of participation. For example, I think probably this time last week we were at about 20 grants being requested, and in August of last year it was about that way. Last year. I think we had probably all total first cycle around 25, 26 this time last year. But second cycle in August, we had over 50. So we built momentum through the year. As I said, kind of schedule how you're going to do your grants. First cycle, generally we fund everything that's submitted first cycle because we have the money and we have low participation. It's a little bit tougher during the second cycle. So keep those due dates in mind. And as always, took us a little bit longer in August to get everything judged because we had so many. We try to get everything out within 30 days with the goal of childhood health and wellness, distributing the funds 35 to 45 days after the cycle closes. So your important deadlines left, March the 20th for club grant and August the 21st for childhood health and wellness. Now, let's talk about the review process. I've told you about the 5-member committees. We take the grants, we review them all. We have an internal scoring system or a rubric. And that rubric, that scoring system, is based on information that you will find on the application. Do you want to tell you? President Fatima will say, don't compete against yourself. Look at what you can apply for. And if something will go into the health and wellness category, put it there. And if something doesn't fit in the health and wellness category, do your grant, do your club grant. So that being said, you can submit multiple applications, but even if you submit 3, you will only be eligible to win 1. And what we're looking for across the board, we want projects that assist young people and children, foster diversity, and directly involve Optimist members' participation. Once again, it's important that your applications be complete and filled out correctly. We're going to look at a couple of things as we pull the applications out and read them. Got to have the name of your club foundation representative. For the club grant, is it a new project? Childhood health and wellness. Does it fit into one of the 4 focus areas? Is it a charitable project? And by that, yes, it's going to be a charitable project, but does it lean, because now and again, we will get projects submitted that actually lean toward fundraising. So be sure you've got a healthy balance when you're doing your projects. And if you read it when you're finished and you think, oh my gosh, this sounds like all we're doing is raising money, because that happens. Take a look at it, restructure it so that we see the charity in it, the service in it, the helping the young people or helping your community. Now, another category is it approved by your club? And you may think, well, Deanna, how would you all sitting up here reading these things, how would you know if it's approved by the club? You've got to have your club president's signature. We will not accept a grant without the club president's signature. Now, we will take an electronic signature, but if it's totally missing, you're going to get a call from either Shanita or Craig saying, we got to have a signature. Sometimes we have to do some things on the back end, but we do need to know that your club president knows about the project that you have asked for money for. We've had a couple of instances where we've given out checks, we've mailed the checks, and the club president has called back and called the office and said, what's this for? So just be sure the powers that be in your club, your board of directors, your officers know what you're doing. And also be sure that it's a matching grant. On one of the Zooms that I was on, I think I know everybody on our Zoom. On one of the Zooms that I was on, we did have a question. What do you mean when you say a matching grant? Our grants, both childhood health and wellness, as well as the club grant, you can ask for money in the amount of $250 upwards to $1,000. Whatever you ask for in the grant process, you are agreeing that you will match the amount of funding that you receive from the foundation. Now, that matching grant money, the money that you've got to fork over and that you've got to provide to match the grant, you can secure that in a variety of ways. People do fundraising projects. They do spaghetti suppers and pancake breakfast. People solicit funding from the community. And once again, the pass-through is a great way if you don't have a 501c3 in your club. If you don't have that, using the pass-through program is an easy way to say, hey, you'll get a tax deduction. Can you give me $100? So there's a variety of ways. Some people just pass the hat at a club meeting and keep passing the hat until they get what it is that's needed. So be creative, particularly if you are a small club. We want to give you the leg up to do the stuff in your communities that make a difference. So if you're a small club, sometimes particularly it's really hard to fundraise. So think creatively. And you've got 5 good people on your foundation board who you can call and get advice from, and we'll give you ideas. We'll tell you what other clubs have done. So don't be afraid. We sometimes think, well, aren't these people afraid of the matching part? It can be easy, and we can give you some hints and give you some best practices, what people have done to raise the money. So we want to be a help to you, as well as our DFR, Kevin Bush. He's well versed in some of these things, and he would be glad to help you too. Now, an important thing on this application, on both of them that you're going to do, you're going to talk about how many young people will be served. We always say the more the merrier, but that doesn't mean that, as an example, if you're building a great program, is that program where the clubs partner with other organizations, and Bob Puckett is on the Zoom. He knows about this. You partner with other organizations to help build beds or young people for the kids who don't have them. We like a large number to be served, but impact is impact. If you are serving 5 families, building beds, soliciting funds to help build beds so young people, kids, have a place to sleep, you can't beat that impact. It's not impact in numbers. It is impact in everyday lives. So don't be afraid. Just because you don't have a project that's not going to serve 200, 300. We had one grant, they were serving 20,000. We didn't know, but all we can do is go by what's on the paperwork. Don't be afraid of any grant that you want to write, because it is the impact that is important. Another important thing is how many optimists are going to be involved in the process. Now, don't be shy about this either. You need to talk it up. Find out who's interested. Depending on what the grant is, how they can help, what skills they have to help, and do they want to help? So kind of calculate that and get as many people, as many optimists involved as you can. There are a lot of people through the years on the grant committee who look specifically at the number of optimists involved and how many youth will be served. As I've worked with committees through the years, you kind of learn who's gonna look for what. I look for impact. Other people will look at how many youth are served, and that may be the most important thing for them. But a well-rounded application that tells a story does the work for you. So just keep that in mind, telling the story. Now, we're going to get into telling the story right now with some helpful tips. As you are writing your application for either category, we've got directions on the website. Use those to help guide you. But as you're working through the process, put thought, care, and organization into every aspect of the process. I cannot tell you how many times there's a section for the project story. How many times we get applications that have 3 or 4 sentences. We don't know what you're doing. We can't picture it in our minds. We had one a couple of years ago. It was one sentence. And they said, we're going to do good in our community. Well, there's lots of ways to do a good job in your community. Tell us what you're going to do and tell us the story. Another important thing, and it's not specifically on this slide, another important thing is to name your project. Every cycle, we get at least one application in that they have forgotten to name their project. So thought, care, and organization, that will take you a long way in the process. Now, when we talk about telling the story, a good thing, once you've gotten it written, have someone read it. And if they read it and they can tell you what you're going to do, then you're golden. A good one to help you would be your club foundation rep, a lieutenant governor, somebody like me. We've got, for example, Donna Johnson. She is in Temple. She is a veteran of this process, and she's one of the most helpful individuals that I know. So we've got, give it to Kevin Bush. See what Kevin Bush says. Just use your help. If you feel like you want to improve it, you want it to be stronger. In fact, I think Rufus, you still on?
Yes, ma'am.
I have helped your club before.
Yes, you have. And we will
Did,
repeat
did,
it.
did you do club? Was that club grant or was it health and wellness? Because I can't remember. Because I think it
Health and
was
wellness.
health and wellness. So all of us, even on the board, are willing to help you. Now, one final thing: submit your application early. Uh, back around Christmas, they're changing the procedure at the post office, and it goes to a clearing place, and then it's sorted and it goes out again. So things take a little longer than we think it's going to take. So get things done, get them early, get them either faxed, emailed, or in the mail. This slide is just kind of procedural. You want to have the project timeline, the start and the finish. And this is really important, particularly the finish date. When we do the grants and we grant the money, Shanita keeps a database of who's getting what and when it's finished. And she keeps a watch every month. So when your project is finished, you will receive an email from Shanita with an end of the project form, the form that summarizes what you did, how you did it. Very simple. It's not meant to be meant to be so hard that it's a detriment to you finishing it, but just kind of a final, they say the project's not over until the paperwork's all in. You do have that final piece of paperwork. So project descriptions, telling the story, telling how the project will impact young people and their families or impact your community. Now, your budget section, it's a very small section. I believe it's on the second page on both grants. If there's anguish in the application process, it is the budget. So you've got to tell us what you're asking for. You've got to tell us how you're going to raise your matching funds. And then you've got to tell us how you're going to use your money. That's kind of the package in a nutshell. And people sometimes leave sections blank. And depending on who is judging, it sends people, some of our judges, it sends them over the edge. And we meet on several occasions, the deliberating committee, and we go through these things and we talk through all this stuff. And budget information, make it as complete as you possibly can if you want that kind of smooth application process and a smooth judging process. We talked about the club president signing the application. That's important. That way we know that everyone in the club knows about it. It's not a secret. It's not going to be a surprise when the check is received in the mail. Now, you can also have the opportunity. We do not want, gotta be honest, we don't want 10 pages of supporting documents. You are allowed to submit 2 additional pages of documents. It might be pages with pictures, particularly if you are applying for a childhood health and wellness grant. It might be pictures of previous projects, the project that you're building on, or other people have used those pages to explain the importance of what it is they're doing, how it's going to impact. We have some who go into really and it's above my pay grade, really the health realm, into more medical research kinds of things, and they use it for that. They also use these supporting documents if they are partnering with another organization. And we encourage you to partner with your local hospital or your boys and girls club. You have that opportunity to partner, and that does not exclude you. That would not exclude you from applying for a grant. We like partnerships, getting our Optimist name, our Optimist brand out into the community, making those contacts. That's all part of the process of serving more and doing more and affecting more. I can't harp on it enough. Dues are paid and the CFR is on file with OI. Now, final reporting, I made a brief mention of that. If your club wins a grant, at the completion of your project, you are going to be sent a final accounting form. Final accounting form really needs to match your application. So what we want to know is, where was your money used for the reason you said it was going to be used? And very important, send us some pictures. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, these are brand new pictures. It is from President Fatima Plater's club, where they did reduce, reuse, and recycle. It was an arts and crafts project. So take pictures. Take pictures of the young people in action. Take pictures of your members in action and send them to us so that we have the opportunity to highlight them in some way, be it on our Facebook. We're trying to build foundation-wise, we're trying to build a stronger social media presence. And we know that our members like to see Optimist in action. So we are trying to build on that and really build interest in what it is we're doing. We do offer program support. We talked about the pass-through program. All of that information is on the foundation side of our website. That lets your donors use our 501c3 so that they can get a tax-deductible receipt for their contributions to your project. When you are using the pass-through, one important thing is when they're writing their checks must be made payable to the foundation. And club reports the final accounting. I got to be honest, I have personally never been involved in using the pass-through program, so I'm not as well versed with this. It is our method for helping you as a club solicit those tax-deductible donations for people who need them and want them in your communities. One important caveat, you can't do donations into your pass-through that you will set up for your club. You cannot, a donor cannot submit less than $100. That's the lower limit. So $100 and above can go into pass-through. And the other thing that we offer as a help to our member clubs is the club campaign fund. It is very similar to pass through. Your money goes in there and it earns 3% simple interest while it's in there. You set up a lot of clubs, a lot of our campaign fund clubs are for clubs trying to set up a park or build a building, and it's for your bigger campaigns. We've got a club, Wyoming, around in there they're trying to set up a handicapped accessible section of a local park. So it's for big things where you want to keep that money there for X number of years and draw when it is needed, but you're going to get that simple interest every single month. So those are our two methods to help you with your donors. Now, as always, all of us are a text message or a phone call away. But if you need more, call Craig at his number, call Shanita up in the office, email at info@OIF Foundation, or contact. We always say our DFRs are part of our success. They are part of the equation that makes all of this work. So in Gateway, our DFR is Kevin Bush. He will be at our meeting in 2 weeks, as will I. And either one of us will be, if you've got something on paper or you want to bounce some ideas off, I'll be there for you. So with that being said, Rufus, I have completed the PowerPoint and ready for questions.
All right, so the floor is now open for questions.
And I will tell you if I do not know, I will make myself a note. I will find out. I will email you or call you if you've got questions that I cannot answer. Let me stop the share. All right. All right, Joyce.
Can we get copies of these slides that you have? Can I get a copy? I'll be at the Augusta meeting.
Yes, I will. Would you like me to email for you?
Sure.
Email them to you? Okay. I'm making myself a note. You want the PowerPoint. Okay.
Right.
Good job. I'll do it. All right. Bob Puckett, you had your...
Yeah.
Please, Bob, don't ask me a question I cannot answer.
Oh, okay. Is there a minimum limit and an upper limit to the amount of grant that a club can receive?
All right. Your grant can be $250 up to $1,000.
Up to 1,000, okay.
Yes. And each grant cycle, you can qualify for one grant. Okay.
Under the partnership, where you might ask a company to sponsor and they want to get the write-off, is it also limited to $1,000? Is there, or is there not, does that limit? In other words, could Kroger Company submit 5,000 through the foundation
as part of your matching as part of your matching fund?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Yeah, there's no there is no limit now. That would help you meet your budget. You would be, and some clubs do. Just about everybody matches what they're asking for to what they're going to provide. But now and again, we will have clubs, like you were saying, you've asked for $1,000 max, but in your budget, you are going to be soliciting funds. Kroger is going to give you $5,000. And one thing that we would ask is just a kind of a clear delineation how you're going to use your money.
One last question.
Yeah, so you can, your budget, what you're asking for and you're matching, it doesn't have to be equal. You can go over on this,
Okay.
on what you're raising.
One last question, then I'm gonna give
Uh-huh.
it. We talk about clubs. Can a district apply for a grant? Could Gateway itself apply for grants?
That we've never had that. We've never had a district. Now that I'm going to have to get clarification on. We have had in all of these years, I've only seen one zone grant, and it was last year. And we didn't, got to be honest, we did not fund that grant. The project, we didn't know what they were doing. We couldn't make any sense out of it. I mean, you look at it and you look at it and you look at it and you think, when I say, look, get somebody to read your project story, we didn't know what they were doing. It just wasn't clear. But I will get clarification on if a district. My inclination is no. My first thought is no, but I am not sure. And nobody's ever asked that before. I'm writing it down.
I got
I
it.
have one more question.
I need some money.
Now it would need to go for service.
I think we can handle that. Isn't
Okay.
that what we do every day?
Yeah. All
I
right.
have one more question.
Joyce, yes.
How long, you said that if we got a grant and they would hold it for us if, say, a building was going to be built, how long would they hold that grant for?
No. They will, no. That's probably a miscommunication on my part. If you are building, if you're building a building, you would use the club campaign fund to funnel your money into,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, the way this would work, if you were building a park or you were, let's just use you're building a park. You're doing a handicapped accessible park section of a park. The way this could work is if you were ready to work on some section of the park. For example, we had this a couple of years ago. We had a group who was going to, they were building their handicap section, and they were ready to put up the handicap swing, and they were soliciting money to help fund that. So that's how you would, if you were doing a big project like that, that's how you would funnel. That's how you could continually funnel into. Yeah, does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely.
So you've got a short term from the big service project that you were doing. You have a short term objective of getting a swing set for your handicap population and getting that installed, purchased, installed, and ready to go. Another example was another park situation where they were going to put down. They had a club campaign fund for this park, and they were going to put down, I don't know, some kind of flooring or surface. They were going to resurface the area where the park was going to be to begin to prepare it. So that was a short-term goal that we could help fund. Okay.
Understand. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions?
No more questions?
That's it. And you know what? It is 8:55, so I'm a long talker.
You did real good. So proud of you.
I know, because I'm a long talker. And typically that PowerPoint, board members, we divided up amongst us. So there's a lot of repetition in that PowerPoint, but it's important, as Albert will say, it is important for people to hear things three different times, three different times.
At least.
So
Three different
typically,
ways.
you'll hear me say, get the signatures, be sure you got a foundation rep, and then you'll hear somebody else say, get your signature, and then you'll hear somebody else say it along the way. So anyway, you heard me say that multiple times. But it has been my pleasure to spend an hour with you. Something that I love, been a learning curve, but I have enjoyed it. And every day is an opportunity for you all to serve. And we in the foundation are here to help you.